What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to X-Men's Expanding Universes, where today we continue the story of what if Kakarot was sent to planet Cerel. Last time, we went over why Bardock had decided to send Kakarot off to Cerel, and how Cerel is going to affect the young Saiyan's life with Manito and Granola. So, with introductions out of the way, let's continue the story into the Saiyan saga. Over the years, Kakarot and Granola would begin to go out on missions for Elec. Kakarot would take up grunt work, and he would go around on missions where he could fight fearsome foes. Every single mission, he would set himself up to a strong opponent and would end with him possibly being needed to be healed by Manito. Most times, Granola would have to rescue Kakarot from these rigorous missions, and whenever Kakarot would wake up, he would have a treat from Granola, although his Cerelian brother would never admit it. Kakarot would create his own type of Saiyan armor that would match his people's colors, and would use these armors on most missions. Kakarot in this story has no martial arts experience, but he does have very little Namekian battle knowledge, and some Cerelian moves from Granola. One day, Kakarot returns back to Cerel after a harsh mission, and is going through the fridge until he hears a loud bang. Kakarot would be surprised to hear this and would head to where the crash was heard. He would arrive to the ruins where Granola tells him to never go to, but this time it was for good reason. Kakarot arrives to see someone who looks a lot like him for some reason. The man would present himself as Raditz, his older brother. Kakarot would be shocked to hear these news, with Raditz asking why he hasn't killed the residents of this planet. Kakarot would be stunned to hear this. Weren't his people heroes? Not killers? Raditz would laugh, sinisterly, asking where he got that idea from. Saiyans are made for conquest and battle. Raditz would offer Kakarot to come with him to really discover what it's like to be a Saiyan. Kakarot would think of this idea and would make up his mind. Kakarot says that he could never join him after hearing about what he does. Raditz would grow an angered look, asking where's his Saiyan spirit? Raditz would be pissed about this, and would decide that he doesn't need his brother. Raditz would charge towards Kakarot and begin to beat on him. Kakarot over time would have gotten stronger than in canon, since his missions require him to be prepared for anything, but Kakarot's skills wouldn't be as refined, which leaves him lacking. Raditz and Kakarot would go toe for toe, with Kakarot actually being on the back foot for once. Raditz's strikes were really heavy on impact, and his speed was on point as well. Kakarot had finally met his match. Raditz would beat his brother to a pulp, and would lift him up, telling his brother that he is strong, but strength is all he has. Raditz would charge up an attack in his hand, while Kakarot would try to kick him off. Raditz prepares to end off Kakarot until he gets a blast pierced through his shoulder. Raditz then hears that's not all he has, and looks over to see Granola. Granola has arrived, and he begins to blast Raditz in his vital points, making Raditz spit blood. Raditz drops Kakarot to the ground, and Kakarot looks up to see Granola flanking Raditz from every angle with his shots. Raditz would soon enough collapse, and Granola comes out of the shadows. Granola punches Raditz down and aims a blast towards his heart. Raditz would cough up blood, saying that his other Saiyan comrades will come to avenge him and destroy everyone on this planet, but Granola says that he won't ever allow Saiyans to affect his home again. Before Raditz is killed, he comments that his home was already trashed before the heaters took their home. Granola would be confused by this, but then would kill Raditz out of anger. Granola and Kakarot would look at each other in shock, thinking the same thing. What was that all about? Kakarot and Granola would be confused to hear about this, and would go to Manito for answers. Manito would be confused to hear about Bardock having another son. Granola would say that it's time to tell Kakarot the truth about the Saiyans, with Manito sighing in submission. Manito would then tell the story of the Saiyans to Kakarot, and how it was because of their race that the Cerelians and Namekians of this world were killed. Kakarot would then ask, was his father the same way? Monaito would bite his lip, as if he tells the truth, he risked the lives of them all to Elec. Monaito, out of reluctance, would say that, yes, his father was also another merciless killer, and it was because of him that Granola's mother was dead. Kakarot would be shocked and angered by this. Why would Monaito keep this from him? Doesn't he deserve the truth? Monaito would apologize to both of his boys for holding back the truth, with Kakarot being pissed. Granola would say that it doesn't matter anymore. The past is the past. They need to live in the now. Kakarot would be surprised to hear this from Granola, and Granola would continue, saying that there are 2 more Saiyans coming to Cereal that are apparently way stronger than Raditz. How will they get stronger? Kakarot would say that Elec is a very smart guy, so maybe he could offer them something in return for all the work they do. Granola agrees, and the 2 head off to Elec for help. Monaito would feel defeated as he watched his boys walk into the way of deception. Granola and Kakarot soon enough arrived to Elec's quarters, with Kakarot telling Elec about their situation. Elec would be surprised to hear about Raditz going to recruit his brother, but would begin to place the pieces together. Elec would say that Raditz must have been desperate to want to recruit his brother, which means the other Saiyans are scheming a plan. Granola would ask Elec if he really thinks that the Saiyans are planning to rebel against Frieza, with Elec agreeing with this. Elec would say that it was because of Frieza that both Kakarot and Granola lost their people, which would stoke Granola's anger. Elec would say that for the 2 years they would train, but once the Saiyans arrive on Cereal, they will recruit them into their training. Elec would say that this is their opportunity to free the universe from Frieza's grasp and to save everyone. Kakarot would like this idea and would be on board with the plan. Elec would be glad to hear this, but would be secretly scheming. His cards have been dealt, and he's finally going all in. Kakarot and Granola would train with the other Heaters for the 2 years and would make impressive gains. Kakarot would train with Gas, with Gas really handing it to Kakarot from time to time. Gas wasn't entirely thrilled to have trained these 2, especially the son of Bardock, but if it was for his brother Elec, he would do anything. Their training gains would improve over time, and Kakarot and Granola would adapt with the Heaters' techniques when fighting. Kakarot would watch as Gas would conjure up weapons and use paralysis, and Kakarot would be able to replicate it, but whenever he would, Gas would show who was really superior when this would happen. Maki would ask Elec why they are going through so much trouble, with Elec saying that if they play their cards right, they can destroy Frieza, the Saiyans, and the last Cerelian survivor, and the universe would be theirs. Soon enough, the 2 years of training concludes, with Kakarot and Granola heading back to Cereal. Once the Saiyans would arrive, Vegeta would comment, saying that this planet has already been cleaned up by the Saiyans, and would say that it was smart of Bardock to send his son here. Kakarot would be intrigued to hear that this Vegeta figure knew his father, but now wasn't the time to question. Vegeta would comment, saying that they heard of these things called Dragon Balls that came from a Namekian. Kakarot would say that the Dragon Balls are nothing as good as what they can offer the 2. Vegeta would raise his eyebrow, saying, "Go on." Kakarot would then motion to Granola, who would nod his head and then destroy the Saiyan scouters with a sniper beam. Nappa would shout, "What gives?" with Kakarot saying that they know of their plan to overthrow Frieza, and they want to help them. Vegeta wouldn't be convinced, so he would tell Kakarot if he can prove to them that they're strong enough, then maybe he'll hear them out. Kakarot would smirk as he would take on Nappa. This time around, Kakarot would be having a thrill against Nappa, instead of last time when he was being beaten to the bone against Raditz. Kakarot would show off his training, as he would easily be able to dodge Nappa and counter him. Nappa would be getting outraged by this, and he tries to blast Kakarot to bits, but then Kakarot fires a sniper shot straight at Nappa's torso, which knocks out the brute. Vegeta is impressed and would agree to have Kakarot join his efforts. Kakarot would then thank Vegeta and watch as Vegeta would help up Nappa. Nappa would apologize to Vegeta, with Vegeta smirking, then crushing his hand and throwing him into the air, killing the brute. Kakarot would be shocked, alongside the others, with Vegeta commenting that he has no use of trash. Vegeta would soon enough come across Elec and the Heaters, and Elec would say that if they exploit Saiyan Zenkais enough, then they can take out Frieza, with Vegeta agreeing. They would continue training until one day, Vegeta hears from Kui that Frieza is on his way to get those Dragon Balls and to make sure that they are prepared for his arrival. Vegeta would be pissed to hear this, and they would have to stop their plans as they would head for Namek. Namek? I thought they would go to Cereal. I hear you. And the reason why Frieza still goes to Namek is because he hears of how the Cerelian Dragon Balls come with a cost, and the Emperor of the Universe does not pay for anything. Kakarot, Granola, and the Heaters would then head to Namek, as a mysterious figure would follow them. With Kakarot and Granola venturing to Namek, we'll leave the story off for right here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you guys had enjoyed, make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe, as it does encourage me to create more content like this, which these types of what-ifs are going to be coming out daily, so stay tuned for more parts. With Kakarot and Granola unknowingly following Elec's deception, how will the Namek arc change as a whole, and will Kakarot be able to become strong enough to defeat Frieza? And who is this mysterious figure following the group? Well, all those questions will be answered in the next part. But until then, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Later!